Hey everybody, this is Modern Refugee, having some coffee with you guys here this morning. And I wanted to cover a few things that were kind of important in my mind and some things that are seasonally important because we are here at the end of March 2025. And this year, what I'm going to read to you guys, this is basically a company memo with a company that I am familiar with that's talking about tariffs and how they're reacting to stuff and price increases and whatnot. And I thought it was good information to share with you guys because this is going to affect each and every one of us at one point or another. And what it says here, it says China, as of 3/4/25, an additional 10% tariff on all goods from China has gone into effect, adding to the 10% that was implemented on 2/4. Mexico and Canada, as of 3/6/25, 25% tariff on Mexico and Canadian goods has been paused until 2/25. And there is still a lot of uncertainty in the lumber business. They are still trying to figure out what they're going to do and how they're going to manage that because lumber, just like a lot of things, certain things come from one country and another country, and they have to figure that all out kind of piecemeal. It goes into that more here too. And then steel and aluminum, which is the one that is really affects everything that we have, more or less, is either steel, aluminum, or plastic. So that's 2/3 of the stuff. Will affect everything from utility knife blades to soda cans to canned food, any tools, any spare parts, any of that stuff has either steel or aluminum in it. Steel and aluminum target imported goods landing in the U.S. after 3/12 that contain steel or aluminum may be subject to up to a 25% tariff, regardless of the country of origin. The harmonized tariff schedule, HTS, number of the product will determine the duty rate. Duty will be assessed either at a flat 25% or 25% duty will be assessed against the value of the steel or the aluminum content of the finished good within the derivative product. That means anything that has foreign steel or aluminum in it is going to be basically taxed, is what that means. Goods under these tariffs will be impacted whether the product is unfinished, raw materials, components of finished goods. This tariff is in addition to the existing tariffs applied to the specific goods of steel and aluminum. For products we direct import, now this is talking about the company, there are approximately 700 SKUs subject to a flat rate of a 25% duty, and we estimate there is another over 1,200 SKUs that we direct import that will be impacted by the derivative tariff, which is the components coming from the other countries. We are working to assess the impact on individual SKUs based on the value of the steel aluminum content in the product. We are also working with our domestic vendors to understand the impact of the rest of the goods, because even if it's made here in the United States, there is foreign components in almost everything, even if it is made here in the U.S. And then on 2/13, President Trump directed staff to research reciprocal tariffs, considering existing tariffs, trade balances, and value added taxes of other countries. A report is expected by 4/1. So there you have it. That's just one little memo from one little company out here in the middle of the country. So I wanted to share that with you guys because, like I said, that's just one little piece. You get into the big retailers, I'll guarantee you all the Targets and the Walmarts and all of the large internet platforms that sell stuff, they have teams of people figuring out how they're going to implement all this stuff. So there's a big scramble right now. Prices haven't been affected yet, but they're going to be. And there's certain things like I actually bought a couple packs of utility knife blades, 100 pack, whatever. They're like less than $20. But that steel is coming from the ones that I bought were Stanley, and I looked on the back and it said they were imported from the UK. So that would be subject to that 25% tax. So I bought a couple packs of them, a couple hundred utility knife blades will last me a long time. Another thing that I'd done video on here not too long ago where I was talking about lithium batteries. I am extremely concerned about anything that's lithium based. Everything has got lithium batteries in it now, and electric this, electric that. But for me, it means small things. It means power tools. It means weapon sights. It means weapon lights, these kind of things. Now, for the weapon sights and lights, I've probably got more than enough batteries here to last me 10 years, depending on how they last on the shelf. I do store everything in optimal condition. But power tool batteries are all lithium ion now, and power tool batteries don't last forever. I have probably two drills here and a saw that the batteries are obsolete. I can't get batteries for them anymore because those batteries were lithium ion and they have since expired. Batteries are something that I am really concerned about, the good lithium stuff. So that's another thing that you want to keep if you've got, good lights, good flashlights, power tools, whatever. You might want to consider getting some extra, or at least one extra battery on top of whatever you got for that stuff, because that's basically, kind of what I'm doing here. It is also spring. We got actually nasty weather no, outside right now. We got snow and ice and rain. It's going back and forth, but early stuff, garlic, onions, potatoes. Everybody should be planning on planting that stuff. We're getting ready to plant it. Some couple things that I wanted to mention. I know a lot of people that plant potatoes that they buy regular from the grocery store have good luck with that, but now some potatoes at grocery stores are treated with something so that it's basically like a sprout retardant. So you have to be careful, because if you plant potatoes that have that sprout retardant on there, they're not going to grow for you. And so, of course, you want to get something that's organic. You want to research that. You make sure that's good. Any onions that are sprouted that you have from like last year that you might have in your onion bin, like I do, I have a few that have sprouted. If you plant those, they will actually put up a seed head. And then later in the summer, you can harvest that seed head, and then you can use that for your seed for green onions for either later in this fall or for next season. That's something else I wanted to mention. Seed quality varies tremendously from one um, seed company to another. And I have had mixed results with seeds like your Ferry Morris, your Burpee, those kind of seeds that are typically carried in your major big box retailers. I've had mixed results. Some stuff has been okay, and some stuff has not been very good, had really poor germination rates and stuff. And I wanted to mention that now I have had better luck with seed catalog seeds, stuff like your Young and your Gurney or Johnny Seeds, that kind of stuff. Seed Savers Exchange is a good one. That's all heirloom stuff. I've got some peppers here that I got as a bonus pack in some Seed Saver Exchange seeds that I ordered like 10 years ago that I'm still propagating myself. They're called Napoleon Sweets, and what they're basically a sweet bell pepper. They are kind of longer and thinner than a regular like California bell pepper, and I've been propagating them for years. And also seeds that you can get locally from your neighbors. You see, if you get seeds from your area that have been several generations, that's actually called land trace. And what that is those seeds have gotten stronger and more accustomed to your specific area where you live. And I've gotten some pea seed from my neighbor who had been propagating that seed for probably 10 years. And I have now propagated that for 4 years on my own. So I have got basically a 14-year land trace pea seed. And if you know anything about vegetables and nutrition and calories and all that other stuff, peas are extremely nutritious. That's why they were rationed during World War II, because peas have a certain amount of, it's a really natural protein source, just like beans are, dry beans are. So those are things that you want to keep in mind. Another thing, if you do have potatoes, you grew them last year, so they're good to go. If you wanted them to sprout, you put an onion in your potatoes that you want to plant, and that will propagate those potatoes sprouting. The onions give off a gas that causes sprouts to grow on the potatoes. That's why you never store onions and potatoes together. But now that it's spring and you want to plant, you want those sprouts on the potatoes. So you put an onion in your potato bin, the sprouts start forming, and then basically you know that potato is good and it's going to grow for you. When it hits the ground and gets water and the warmth comes into the soil, that'll start growing. Another thing, I had somebody ask me why I always wear brown sweatshirts. I like my earth tones. I always like my earth tones. feel close to the land when I wear earth tones. Plus, it's just a natural form of camouflage. Deer are basically the same color as my sweatshirts. And if you've ever um, observed a deer in a natural habitat, they literally will disappear, especially in the early morning and at dusk. And I always try to mimic my camouflage, what I wear out in the woods, with the surrounding area where I'm at. And one another animal that is one of the best camouflaged animals out there are pheasants, are female pheasants. And female pheasants, the small feathers on female pheasants look like these little circles right here, this little scale type camo. Fish scales are another one that are this shape. And if you've ever noticed a fish, in 2 or 3 feet of clear water and there's rocks on the bottom and they're over top of it, they blend right in because this is a natural pattern. That's why you see a lot of people using mesh when they're camouflaging gear. They use 2 or 3 colors. They put that mesh over, and then they do a base color. They put the mesh over. They spray again. They turn the mesh a little bit, and then they spray another color, or they split the colors up. That is the exact same pattern that nature has instilled in game birds, animals that need to be camouflaged to survive. So I wanted to mention that there on camouflage seeds. I wanted to go over that little memo there with the tariffs. You guys can see how that is going to affect each and every one of us. And as the days get longer and the warmer weather comes in here, I am really expecting a lot of economic and political turmoil coming into the summer. And I am basically preparing for that, the best I can with my resources. We have some family members that are moving closer to home, which is really good. Um, the consolidation of people and resources is a tremendous asset for preppers. I never look at extra people as extra mouths to feed. I know some do. I would rather find ways to feed extra people and have more eyes on the problem, more eyes watching, more eyes guarding, more hands to work the ground. I would rather have that compared to, less people and more food in my pantry. I can figure out how to feed people. That's never the problem. But, and the younger generation too, I always do whatever I can to help out the younger generation because I'm old. And sometimes younger people are more resilient to help and get things done as long as they have good mentorship. And that's what I try to do. I try to provide that good mentorship so the younger generation can carry on the stuff I know. It's another reason why I do this channel, because it is a constant reference for folks. But anyway, wanted to have this chat with you guys here this morning while I'm having my coffee, go over those few things. And I hope you guys are all doing well out there. Keep your gas tanks full. There's still stuff going on in the Middle East. If you need fuel, you got empty propane tanks, you got empty gas cans at your place. Make sure that you fill those up. If you're using ethanol fuel, make sure you got that treated. If you can find direct fuel with no ethanol in, that's even better because that stuff will last longer on the shelf without being treated. So keep all that stuff in mind. Lots of things going on. I want everybody that watches my channel to be safe and squared away out there. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. You guys take care out there. I have nothing but love for the people that watch my channel, and I consider you all my friends. Anyway, you guys take care.